Hi everyone, welcome to number 40, Flosstube number 44. I am so rusty. This is gonna take such a long time to record. I have not been recording for over 2 months, and that has mostly been due to health reasons. And I'm gonna go into that in like the last part of the video where I talk a little bit about my private life. But this is just mostly about cross-stitching, and that is what we're gonna start off with. However, first things first, if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. It warms my heart that you want to spend some time with me. And I want to say welcome to all of you new subscribers. While I have been away, there's a lot of you who have come through, and we have reached my second goal, which was 750 subscribers. That is just huge. I want to say thank you so much for that. I will have a giveaway in the new year, so in the beginning of January, because I am going on a vacation, so I won't be home to ship things. So instead of trying to push something together, I will have a giveaway towards in the beginning of the new year instead. Anyhow, if you are new here, hi, my name is Marika. I come from Stockholm, Sweden, where I live with my boyfriend and my 2 cats. And this is a channel mostly about cross-stitching. Today, just about cross-stitching. So now we're gonna start with the cross stitching. We have fully finishes, we have all of the things, new starts. I have been very crafty these past 2 months. When it comes to fully finishing, I actually do have 3 that I don't even have photos on. If you have been with me for a while, you saw when I stitched the rainbow animals from World of Cross Stitching magazine. I think it was Stitchrovia that had designed them, Emma Condon. And two of them, the horse and the panda, I made into black little hoops. I did not take a photo of that. I just gave it away to my brother's girlfriend's 2 daughters. I also finished the breath sampler that you could see from last video, not last week's, like last video, yes. And the way I finished that off was I bought a white frame from IKEA, and then I just mounted it with a little bit of foam. I removed the glass from it because I like how the fabric and the stitches pop. So that was kind of those fully finishes, but I have a lot more fully finishes. I have over 30 pieces, but they are very small. I have been going crazy on my ornaments. I started with some Halloween ornaments, and those are the ones we're gonna go through first. So as a overall, all of these are backed with this gorgeous like orangey fabric. It is actually like a orange fizz Fanta color. It is gorgeous, and the reason why I backed it with this, which was one of the few things I bought when I went on a fair, was that and an iron, because I had stitched all of them on this fabric, which is 28 count Evenweave in orange fizz, which you can find in my store over on Etsy. And everything is linked in the description down below and on my blog. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of these that weren't fully perfect. The first one here is actually stitched with the charted colors. The chart is from a World of Cross Stitching magazine. I have too many things today to keep them in my head, and I don't have a list. So if you want to know which magazine these comes from, it is linked in the description though. I have the list, I just don't have it when I record, and yeah. So this was charted to be 403, and as you see, the 403 against the 317 is not dark enough. However, I didn't want to rip it all up because ripping up backstitching is not so fun. So this is the only one that I stitched with those colors in mind. Another one that is a little bit different, and that is when I started doing this, I only did one. I just used tape, and if you see on this, you see that the corners are very round-ish, and it's a little bit puffy compared to this. See, hide my face. This have very sharp corners, and that is because this is taped, this is sewn. So after I made this, because this was the first one that I fully finished, I actually went through and I have laced every piece because I'm crazy. I just took my lacing thread, which is just a thicker, I think I used a thicker polyester because that is a little bit easier to use. I just took that and I sat in front of in the living room for like a day or 2 and just laced, and it worked out great. I really like the result of them, but I kept this because I wanted to be able to show you. So this one is just done with double-sided tape. But yes, they are very simple. I made a little hook here because they're so small, and because I didn't know, these are all for my little mini tree. I didn't know how long the little band should be. I just did little hooks on them, like a little one, and then I added some thread, baker's twine, just in there to hang them. But yeah, this is one. They have like a little mini collection of little these little drinks basically. So I made those. These are from one of these cross-stitch libraries. I think I've talked about it before, or I think I've shown you. Can have shown some of this, have I? No, I don't know. But yeah, I love these little cross-stitch library that the World of Cross Stitching has, and I purchased all of the back issues for like $70 or something, which is a lot of magazines. I think the Cross Stitcher magazine, that would be like $250, while this is just $70. So I bought all of them so I can go through and go into these little libraries with 40 to 50 of these designs, and I really, really love them. So I'm just gonna go through and show you them one at a time here. There are 15 of these little ones, and I just made them hard backed squares. So it's a cardboard piece with the backing fabric, and then there's another cardboard piece in the same size with the design. I have put the little ribbon in between, and then just some baker's twine. So they're super simple to make, and because they were on Evenweave, I felt that this was the best way to do it, because Evenweave is a little bit frayy, is that a word? It wants to fray a little bit. So I'm just gonna go through them one by one so you can see them, you know? This is one of my favorites. It's a little frog. I think I'm getting into the frogs right now, the cute little mini frogs, and there's also a couple of bats and a big witch. So yeah, those were all of the ornaments for Halloween. But I did do a lot of Christmas ornaments that I also fully finished. I actually fully finished the last 2 or 3 of them today. I have them here, but we're gonna go through them. So this was just a way for me to collect them, because they are 26 of them. Last year I did 18 little bigger designs. Sorry, I need to pick them up. And when I did that, they took about a day each to stitch, and I was a little bit overwhelmed because it took me like 18 days to make them, and then it took 2 or 3 more days to fully finish them. And I wanted to make the same amount of ornaments because I want to give them away, but I just didn't have the capacity for big ones. So I again went into these little libraries that I can find in the World of Cross Stitching magazine, and again the specific magazines that I've used for these Christmas ones, because they're 2 different ones, will be linked in the description down below. So the first of them are stitched on 16 count parchment, 14 count parchment. You can find it in my store. Most of the fabrics that I stitch on are either kit fabric or fabric that I actually sell in my store. So if you like any of the fabrics, just head over to my store and see if there's something there for you. But yes, the first ones I made have mostly the same felt. I have a lot of felt. I bought a big stack of felt. Whoop. Again, I'm dropping things all over the place. Anyhow, I have a big stack of felt because I use it for my little needle books. I'm hoping to be able to get a lot more of those kind of things out in the next year. I have so many ideas. I just hope that life allows me to do that, because 2022 and 2023 really made a number on me. Yeah. If you want to hear more about this, like my 2023, like privately, what has happened and everything, there will be a video over on my blog channel, which will be linked down below. And also, I will be starting in January to upload my travel vlogs from this travel that I'm going to do on Monday. I lost one again. But yes, so let's get through this. Some of these, I tried different kinds of techniques on them. So this one, I have stitched the outline on my machine, and then I also stitched the felt on my machine. However, I forgot that I needed this big space to fill it. So this is the only one that isn't filled, it's just flat, but it's super cute and cuddly. And I think this is gonna go on my own tree just because it's so small. This is also gonna go on my own tree. Again, it is, first, what I do with these, I stitch them on a big piece of fabric. And when I stitch mine, I usually give them between 1 inch and 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch border. So in between each design, it's usually about 2 inches. And I stitch them on one huge big piece of fabric, then I cut them down. I add some sticky, it's called interfacing, like iron-on interfacing on the backside of them. This helps with holding the threads, but also when you cut them out like this, they don't fray that much. Anyhow, so this is again one I sewed the image on the sewing machine, but I sewed it by hand around it, and that is what I've done with most of them, because I realized trying to sew the felt with the puffiness and everything with the sewing machine just didn't work out. I didn't like the result, and I don't mind that it is like a little bit hand sewn on the back. However, sewing them onto the fleece, it took so much time, so I'm like, no, the sewing machine can work that out for me. This one, however, I did sew by hand because this was one of the first one. I have just used a simple red ribbon on these, and I've used a red fleece on the back side, and I have 2 different tones of red fleece. These are not going to be in the same tree, so I didn't mind, because I only had one of this like beautiful, again, this beautiful terracotta. This jumps out of my hand. This beautiful terracotta that I have on the back side of this, I only had 1 sheet, so I could only do for so many of them, and then the rest of them are this little bit of a thicker felt. All of the felt, it's not fleece, it's felt, is polyester. So this one is a little bit more purplish. Hopefully it will show up better when I color correct this video. We'll see. It's a little bit, they're not showing up to true color. They're actually showing up to be more red than purple, and this fabric is more like purple. So all of the smaller ones will go into my own tree probably, and then I will just sew some of these out. I'm gonna stop showing you the back because the back is the same. I'm also gonna have another hand because I'm getting tired. These are so cute. So this whole library was about red robins, so it's like a red robin Christmas. So there's a couple of houses, and there's a couple of like the North Pole sign. I think that is so cute. I also have this little one, which is like a little Christmas tree with a red robin. I have one that has the little cane, candy cane, snowman, and then we have two more small ones. We can have them at the same time if they want to focus. Apparently they don't want to focus. There you go. One that focuses and the other one. Oh. So that was the first library that I did and the first ones that I finished. Then I went through and like, it's not enough. I only had like 15. All of them are red robins. I wanted to have a bigger variation. And then also I had like an idea that I wanted to do a baby's first Christmas ornament. Now it's going to be an ornament, but it's not saying baby's first Christmas. But hey, that's okay too. So they don't want to be in my hands. That's just how it is. So the first one, these are from a Kawaii library. And again, it will be linked in the description down below. Here we have a teeny tiny one. I used the pink fleece for the little babies ones. This is not the babies ones, but I wanted to have one other with the fleece. So this is the one with the red fleece. I see if I can not blow it out. So that is the first one. These are all stitched on 14 count vintage mocha. You don't see that very much when you cut down the fabric, but hey, I would probably have stitched them on parchment instead, because I think parchment is it's a little bit lighter in the base tone than the vintage mocha, but I really like them. They're super cute. So for the pink ones I used a silver ribbon because I felt it needed that coolness, but for the rest one I used a gold ribbon. Is a level 1, and all of them are made the same way as the previous ones. So I used just a mixture of different felt colors. Again, I thought this would be perfect on a brown, and I only did one on brown because that was the only one. I did the ones that had like green as their main colors. I did the green on, and then I just picked some of them. I just picked because they fitted. I felt like, okay, I want, because could be good to know. I'm gonna do it like that, and you can see it. This is a trick I borrowed from cross-stitching, from card making, and that is, if you have a specific color in your design that you want to really pop, just make sure to pair that design with something with that color, because the color you have around your design, that color will be brought out more than the rest of them. So if you have done something and it has blues and pinks and other colors, and you don't want the blues to be the dominant color, don't add blue around it because it will definitely be the dominant color. So if you want the pink to be dominant, add pink. So yeah, but I also have a little Santa. And they finished, the last one, which I really like, is the Get Cozy one. And I was considering doing all of the like 40 ones that they had, but I ran out of time. That is definitely a thing that happened. So yeah, that is all of my fully finishes for this year, but I have a bunch of finishes. So we're gonna start off from the back, sort of speaking, from the start. So the first one that I finished was this one, and I think I had started stitching on it in the last video, and that is this one, which is called Into the Woods. It does have a little bit of glow-in-the-dark beads. It has this little bead over here. It is a Mill Hill button and bead kit. These I have more names and remembering. It's easier. The next one I started and finished actually, is this one, and that is Taboo Kitty. And sorry about the kitty hair, I can't really do that much about it. I try to get as much away as possible, but yeah. So that is Taboo Kitty. All of these that I'm showing you that I have stitched, you can also find in my Etsy store, which always will be linked in the description down below. The next one is Christmas Day, Christmas morning. Christmas morning is, no, Christmas giving is what this is called, and you have like the little turkey and the little doggy and kitty, and I love these. These are so fun to stitch. I think they're super fun to stitch. I haven't fully finished them yet. I will, but not to this Christmas. Then I have the gnomes, and I wanted to show you something. These are so many things, it's gonna take a while to talk about, but hopefully you will enjoy the video anyhow, that I talk a whole bunch. So guys, for the next one is the Jim... I don't remember what his name is. God. Well, anyhow, it is the gnomes. You can get them also in my store. I love these little gnomes. The winter ones that came out this year will come up in my store in January. I have them here. I just haven't had the time to edit the photos and everything. So they're not out yet with me. But if you find them somewhere else, go and get them. They're gorgeous. I have some here though, if you would have a hard time finding them. But yeah. When I showed my first gnome in the Mill Hill group, someone said, hey, you can get 2 out with that material. So I wanted to try that out, and I can say it was tight with some of the beads, but it worked. I got 2 of them. I flipped mine around. I think with the sizing, I think you actually can put them side by side, but flipping it around made it possible for me to have it in my frame holder. This is my new frame holder that I made all by myself. This is just cardboard. This is the same cardboard I use when I fully finish pieces. And what I've done is I've taken 2 sheets of them. I made holes, 9 holes on these because I needed to have a little bit of better hold, and I put some felt on the edges. So that's basically how I did this frame. I'm using these brads that have these wings on to hold it. This is just something I tried out to play around with to see. I've seen these beautiful magnetic ones, wooden ones on Etsy, but they're like $40, and I wasn't sure I would like them, and they're magnets, and yeah, I didn't know. So I wanted to try this out, and I actually really like how it works. It's a little bit softer though, so I'm still looking into materials. But yeah, this is how they look. So I did fit both of them from the same kit. So the kit is made for 1. You will guaranteedly get 1 out of it. I save all my beads and all my threads and everything, so getting 2 out of it was no problem. But there are a few things I don't know about the threads, if they would be enough, because I just add all of the threads to the same floss drops for all the colors from all of my kits. I save all of the thread. And same thing with the beads. It's just the green beads that I never had before, and I had like 1 or 2 left after I did 2 of them. So I did have enough of those beads, but I can't like guarantee, because you're not supposed to get 2 of them. But I did. So yeah. Next I have is this little Canada Goose. It's an adorable, this is from this year's Christmas collection from Mill Hill, and it's super cute. Sorry, that wasn't a noise that usually comes out of me. And then I wanted to show you my other, this has much thicker borders. I just counted wrong on that one. But yeah, I have these really thick borders on this one, and I only have 4 holes because I didn't need more than 4. And this is the little penguin from the same collection as the Canada Goose. So as you see, I've been stitching, but it's been 2 months. The last thing that I finished was something I stitched on before, and this comes from the Dimensions 6 Ornaments, Village Ornaments kit. And this is the first one. And here's the thing, these look like these teeny tiny ones. They can't take that long. I think it's a lot of stitches, like it's 6,000-7,000 stitches, somewhere there. There's a lot of stitches in this. So I did. If you're wondering about the fabric, I cut down the fabric for these because I was thinking I would stitch them in hand. I didn't enjoy stitching in hand on the 18 count, so I just sewed on some fabric around it to hold it in my frame. It makes it a little bit easier. So I have it in my square Q-snap to be able to stitch it. But yes, here it is again. This is the barn. I don't know number of the kit, in the kit, but it was so much fun to stitch, but I think the outlines almost broke me. It was so much backstitching, which Dimension has. But yeah, that was all of my finishes. So I do have one work in progress and one new start. So let me get them. So for my work in progress, I have been working a couple of days on the winter cabin, mainly because we had snow in October. The first snow came in October. It was gone within a day or two, but it was super cold, it was snow, and I'm like, I'm working on the winter cabin. So I did take a couple of days to stitch on the winter cabin, and I actually got, I think, this much done on it or something. I got a lot done on it. So this is, see if I can get it. This is how much, I only have that little corner left. So I'm going to take this with me on my vacation, and hopefully I can finish that corner. And when that corner is finished, this is finished. It's been super fun to stitch. I have so many stitching techniques updates for you. So I have talked about stitching diagonally. Last video I talked about stitching diagonally. On my full coverage stitches, I think that is a great idea. However, in my case, if on my bigger things like 14 count, 16 count Ida, the stitches just don't lay nice. So I have gone back to doing the back and forth when I do it on like 14 count, 16 count, and when I do it on my full coverage, I do the diagonal. Just an update if you were curious about that. Secondly, I did a whole year of stitching in hand, and when I started to go and actually iron up my pieces, you can see it a little bit here. Where I've stitched in hand, because half of this is stitched in hand and half of it is stitched in frame. Where it's stitched in hand, I have puckering. Where I've stitched in frame, I don't have puckering. The stitches looks fairly nice, so that's not a problem. It's the puckering that is the problem. So I've gone back to stitching in frame. And it's different for everyone. It has to do with tension. My tension is still too hard, but I don't mind stitching in frame, so yeah. So that was winter cabin and the last of that. And now we have the last cross stitching of the week of this video. I will be back in January, but the last one is a new start full coverage stitch. It's a small full coverage stitch, which I found through Instagram. It was when I picked it up, a freebie over at Artecy, and that is this owl. It is so adorable. The colors are so nice, but this one is a pain in the ass to stitch. Sorry about that. But it's basically just confetti. It's so confetti heavy. It takes so much time to stitch this, but it's super fun, and hopefully I have enough fabric. I think it only goes to there, so it should have enough fabric, but it looks like it's gonna be over. No, it's a super teeny tiny stitch, but it's still gonna take me a couple of months to stitch, even if I stitch daily. So yeah, I can hold it up again. If you head over to my blog, I should have close-up photos of these, but isn't those colors gorgeous? I love the owl. It is gorgeous. But yes, that was all on my stitching. I am going to take some time and talk a little bit about life and kind of what is going on there. But if you want to know more about that and such, I do have my vlogging channel, which I will be starting with videos here. One 2023 wrap-up that will come out this week, I think, and then in the new year with my travel vlogs. Everything linked in the description down below. But yeah, why have I been away for 2 months? I ended up going on sick leave because of my migraines. I talked about my migraines in the last video. I suffer from chronic migraines, but it is a little bit more than that. I have a sustained migraine when I'm not treated. That's basically how it is. I had to postpone my Botox treatment with about 12 days, and when I finally got my Botox treatment, it didn't work. That can happen when you postpone things. So it took me 9 weeks until I could have my next Botox treatment, and I was constantly in pain. Like, I had a migraine, constantly a migraine, with aura symptoms and headaches and tiredness and all what that comes with. So I came to a point where more than 30 minutes in front of a computer would just make the migraine become so much worse. So I just had to not be in front of a computer, which also meant that I couldn't record videos. And these lights that I have are very, very bright, so that was also affecting my migraine. So I couldn't do that, so I haven't been recording because of that. I have been back to work the past 2 to 3 weeks, but work has been intense. Also, the weekends have been intense. We had like a little mini Christmas celebration with cake. We usually don't have cake for Christmas, but yeah. No, we met up and gave presents to... First we went to Christopher's brother and his children, which both have birthdays in this time, so they got their belated birthday presents and their Christmas presents. The week after, my brother came here, and he with his daughter and his girlfriend's daughters, so they're family. I want to clump them up to a whole family, so soon I'm just going to call them his daughters, even though they're not biologically his. But yes, so they were here. I still have some migraine left, teeny bit of migraine left, but it's much better. So hopefully some vacation will help with that, and also my next Botox treatment, which is in January. We're gonna have a shorter period just this time to give it a little bit of an extra boost. So yeah, that was what happened with me and why I haven't been recording. I am, however, I can cross stitch when I have a migraine, which is a blessing for me, because then I have something to do. So that is why I've gotten so much cross stitching done. However, the past like 2 or 3 weeks I haven't cross stitched almost at all. It has been a lot of finishing, but also I've been crocheting. I have made crochet card like little warm things. I have made almost finished a anteater. My little brother liked anteaters when he was little. He thinks that was super cool. So when I found an anteater online, I'm like, I am going to crochet that. And when they came here, it wasn't fully finished, but he's gonna get it. I showed him that he's getting an anteater, and he was really happy about it, which is awesome. But yeah, so that has taken up some time from the cross stitching, and for the past like week or two I've been gaming. I have a game called on my Switch, which you can see in the background. I have a Dreamlight Valley, which is like a Disney Dreamlight Valley even, and I really love it. It is super cute. It's just Disney characters and everything, and they had a new release and DLC, so downloadable content release that I kind of wanted a game. And then I've been watching a MMORPG that has only been available on PC, but they actually brought it to Switch yesterday, and I had to start playing it. It's super fun. I'm having so much fun. So yeah, that is what has taken me away from my cross stitching, but I am taking some projects with me on my journey. One is going to be the winter cabin, and the other one is actually inspired by Calico Whimsy. She went through all of her dimension kits, and one of them was like a winter coffee shop or Christmas coffee shop, and she's like, I haven't seen these stitched. I'm like, I have those, I need to stitch it. So I did all of the prep work for that, so I can take it with me when we travel. So yeah, that is all for me today. Hopefully not too long video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please thumbs this video up. If you have any questions, just comment down below. Down below you find all of the details of everything. I want to say happy holidays to you. Whatever holiday you are celebrating, I hope you have a great holiday. And if you're not celebrating, I hope you just have a great winter and end of year. I am going to be in a warm place, so I am going to enjoy myself. Anyhow, I will see you after the new year. Bye!